Hello everyone! Today we have r/entitled people, and today's stories are extra entitled. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel because I really want to get to 120 subscribers as soon as possible. Dude tried to pet my dogs while I was waiting at an intersection. I have two very adorable pups. We were coming back from a fun day at the dog park and it was a nice day, so I had my windows rolled down and my dogs' heads were sticking out, enjoying the breeze. We were in the city, so not driving very fast. Also to note, I had my baby in the car as well, and one of my dogs is very protective of said baby. Anyways, while driving, I was waiting to turn right at the stoplight intersection because people were in the crosswalk. Blinker was on, just waiting for the crosswalk to clear. My husband and I were chatting about the food we just picked up when out of the corner of my eye, I see this dude start approaching my car. He then reaches over to pet my dogs. I panicked and screamed at him not to touch my dogs, which I guess startled him enough to get him to back off and apologize. It was very harsh and threatening scream, but like, dude, I don't know if my dog will rip your hand off because my baby is right next to him. Also, we are in a moving vehicle. Do not put your hands in a moving vehicle. The audacity of some people. This story is actually very true because when my sister had her daughter, my niece, and one of her dogs became obsessed with her daughter, I remember we were going to meet and it was my sister, her daughter, and her two dogs. And first I was like, of course, approaching the baby because, cute baby. And one of the dogs started barking at me, first time in our lives. And I was like, what? Donut? You can bark? Huh? So yeah, very true story. My entitled brother threw a massive fit just because he was mad I bought a house. I suddenly became a homeowner some time ago because a friend of mine's grandfather was moving to Florida and his house was ripe for picking. I knew the old man well. Rest in peace, he passed a few months later from a sudden stroke. Anyway, he offered the house and property to me for $200K. I practically ran to the bank to apply for the loan. The house is a manufactured home from the 80s, but it was remodeled repeatedly by the former owner and has a separate garage building. The home and property could have gone for more, but he offered the house to me because he knew I'd take care of it. I had $30K saved, that made a good down payment, and I was happy to leave my apartment. I'd wanted to eventually move out of there after what my cheating ex did anyway, but that's a story for another time. As for my brother, well, he went bonkers when he found out I bought a house. He had this repeated history of copycatting me for the past decade. But this, there was no way in heck he could copycat buying a house with his terrible credit and inconsistent income. And he got in an argument with me over how I was just trying to make him look bad by doing something he couldn't. No, I just wanted a house. And the price was too good to refuse. Then he told me I should have turned it down because, well, he had no good reason. I could practically see his screws getting looser with every dumb butt excuse he made as to why I shouldn't have done it. But I pointed out all those excuses were just because I did something he currently cannot. And when I bought the house, it had nothing to do with him. I just wanted to be a homeowner for the security and extra space. I finally don't have to store my camper at my parents' house. And I have a garage that I can store stuff and tinker in. I bought a camping cot. He bought a camping cot. Went to the gym. He went to the gym. Bought good booze. He bought good booze. Or stole it from me. I bought a new TV. He bought a new TV. I bought a truck. He bought a truck. I bought a camper. He bought a camper. I bought a used portable DVD player. He bought a used portable DVD player. I went camping in a specific place. He went camping in that specific place. I bought a house. He... Photo forever. Insert tea kettle noises and Benny Hill chase. He also acted like a complete child toward me when he built his mini ram thing. He actually confronted me and said it was cooler than my boring Tundra because it was something original. I swear he did the dumbest mods to that vehicle, like putting twist studs in the suspension coils to raise the ride height. Well, after weeks of openly fuming about me being a homeowner, my brother suddenly acted like he had another brilliant idea. He wanted to move in with me. I laughed at him. Then he ended up demanding I rent one of my rooms to him, and for only $200 a month, utilities included, because he shouldn't have to pay any more than that since we're family. He flipped his lid when I said F no. Then he got our parents involved again. Only this time they actually sided with him at first, though it was mainly our mother. She and my brother showed up demanding I let my brother move in. And my brother had a crap-eating grin on his face that I could tell he was thinking he was getting his way thanks to Mommy Dearest. I said F no to both their faces, and my mother cried that I was using foul language to her and being a butt when I had the space now. I called my dad and he told my mom that he'd warned her I wouldn't do it and to leave me the heck alone. Mom whined my brother was living out of his camper next to a shabby house he was renting space from. I said that wasn't my problem to fix, and my brother has proven countless times that he cannot be trusted. My brother was fuming to the point of being red with veins popping out. My mom tried one more time to convince me with tears, and that just made me angrier. I went on a rant that was something like this. Bro can't buy a house, so he wanted to invade mine. I refused to ever live with my brother again. I would sooner live in the woods without electricity than with him. He's intentionally irritating as all heck. And if I had him as a roommate, I just knew he'd steal my booze, take my stuff, and invade my privacy non-stop. No effing happening. No matter how many tears mom tries using on me. My mom broke down and finally conceded that she'd never convince me after that rant. And she had to take my brother by the hand and live with him because he initially refused to go and kept begging him to turn back and made me let him move in. And then I yelled to him that it was a laugh that he called me a mama's boy before, because he'd become exactly that. And this was just the time he tried to get our mother to make me trade vehicles with him because he felt ashamed to be driving a minivan. He yanked away from mom, then told me to go F myself and the horse I rode in on. I laughed and pointed out I didn't ride in on anything because I was already home. But his rattlecan horse was waiting from him in the driveway. He flipped his lid again and looked like his head was going to explode. But mom got in front of him and told him to just go. Then he drove off in his rattlecan Silverado without her. He'd driven her there, and then I had to take her home. While taking her home, I made things very clear with my mother over why I could never trust my brother again, and his life was not my burden to bear. And then I told her how little my brother was offering for rent anyway, which he'd conveniently not told her. Then I later rented that same room to one of my best friends for $600 a month, and he pays for utilities. The other two rooms are my bedroom and the home office. There is an extra room in the separate garage too, so my mother tried to make me let my brother live in the garage instead. There is enough room in the storage room for a bedroom. Again, I said F no. And that's since been turned into another friend's rented room with a bit of a plywood remodel. Yeah, I kinda rented both the space bedroom and garage room out to friends out of spite. But I wasn't letting my brother live with me in any capacity. My brother later ended up having a complete meltdown in front of our parents over how he's the older brother. He should be the one who owns a house first. He's supposed to be successful, and I'm supposed to be the big loser in his shadow. Our dad poked him with his cane and told him that's not how life works. And they had a big argument. They told him to get out and not come back until he's cooled off and learned that he's just being a pointlessly jealous butthole. The next part I post, my brother did the dumbest thing of all. Oh, and there is an edit. I came home later to over 600 comments and still more pouring in. Far too many for me to answer, so I'll clear some things up here. Yes, I am no contact with my brother, and he is no contact with the rest of the family as well. I do have cameras inside and outside my home, and a dash cam too. My brother knows this, and has stayed the F away since he left town. And I'm told I'm a butthole too. Not arguing that, because it's true. I'm not exactly the nicest guy, but have someone like my brother in your life and see how bitchy you turn out. I love this story, and you know what it reminded me? There is this quite an old movie, Borat, and there was a movie scene where he was like, "This is my neighbor. I build a porch, he builds a porch. I buy a clock radio, he cannot afford. Great success." That's exactly what it reminded me of. I love it. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel. You can also watch that awesome video or this awesome playlist. See you next time!